Yeah, so e-wrestling news would be my number 2 source of wrestling news. It used to be number 1 until I found out about NoDQ.com. At first, I didn't really think much of NoDQ.com. I didn't care for it that much. I didn't hate it either, but I just didn't care for it. I didn't really go on it too much until I knew more about the owner of NoDQ, Aaron Rift. And Aaron Rift is a good guy, I have to say. I've talked to him before. I've been on a podcast with him before, and I've had conversations with him on Facebook, and I used to always ask him questions on his series that he does on YouTube called No DQ NA Video. I always thought it was cool that he answered his fans' questions every week, and he always answered it, and he still does. He's up to like episode 1009, 1010 or something like that. It's just crazy. He's very dedicated to what he does. All the other guys that do their websites, they're not as dedicated as Aaron. I can promise you that. They aren't. He's just a very humble guy. He's very humble. He's very thankful for his fans and for the people who support his website. And most importantly, he always listens to his fans. The most recent example I can think of was people complaining about the website on mobile having constant pop-up ads and all this malware shit that was going on. Any other website, they would just brush it off, be like, we don't really give a shit. But Aaron Rift spent months and months and months and months and months trying to resolve that issue with the advertising agency that puts ads on his website. He spent months and months getting the issue resolved, and he actually did it. He got it resolved. And he could have done nothing because his website's been doing fine lately. It's not on the decline. It's not losing fans because of this issue. It's not as controversial as you would think. It didn't happen to everybody. It only happened to a handful of people, but he got it fixed. So it's a combination of three things really that makes me like going to NoDQ so much, that makes NoDQ my number one news source for wrestling news. It's the original content that's on NoDQ, all the different Q&As that he does, all the polls that he does, everything else that he does on that website that kind of sets it apart from the other ones. Another important thing that sets NoDQ apart from the others is less clickbait bullshit. So I've seen much, much, much less instances of clickbait bullshit on NoDQ's website. It's been very rare that I've seen clickbait on their website. I don't even know if I have, but if there has been, it's absolutely nothing compared to those other websites, the 434.com, steelrealtous.com, SC Scoops, any website that you can think of, any wrestling site that you can think of. It's just nothing but bullshit reporting and clickbait bullshit that just makes me want to never go on their website ever. But on NoDQ, they don't really do that much. So that's a second thing. And the third thing is just how the guy who runs the website is, Aaron Rift. He's a great person. And I can attest to that personally, actually, because a couple years ago, when my dog died, I made a post about it on Facebook. And let me clarify one thing. Me and Aaron Rift are not close. I wouldn't even call him a friend. We don't have a personal relationship at all. Any conversation I've had with him was very limited, and it was only related to wrestling. Like me submitting questions to his Q&A thing. He used to always answer my questions. But a couple years ago when my dog died and I made a post about it on Facebook, he didn't know who I was. We were friends on Facebook, but he added everybody on Facebook. He has like 5,000 friends now, and I'm just one of the many thousands of Facebook friends that he has, because he's one of those people, that if anyone sends them a friend request, he just automatically accepts it. He's one of those guys, right? So I sent him a friend request many, many years ago, probably like 3 or 4 years ago, just because I was a fan of his and I thought, why not? And he accepted. But a few years later, 2 years ago, I made a post, like I said, about my dog dying. And he actually took the time out of his day to send condolences, to say, I'm sorry for your loss and everything like that. And it might seem like nothing to a lot of you who might be listening, but to me, it really meant a lot. That's somebody who really does not have to say anything to me. I wasn't affiliated with NoDQ at the time, and I technically am not right now. I don't really have a direct relationship with NoDQ. As a matter of fact, I got banned from the NoDQ Facebook group. I think I made a post about Chris Benoit or something like that. I don't remember what I posted specifically, but they didn't like it, and I got banned from the Facebook group. So I'm still banned to this day from the group. And the only thing I've ever done with No DQ was that one podcast. And mind you, I wasn't even handpicked by Aaron Rift to do that podcast. He needed somebody to do it. He wanted to do a podcast with anybody who was a No DQ fan. And I decided, you know what, why not? I want to do it. And he said, okay, because I don't think anybody else wanted to do it or was available to do it except for me. So it was really a luck thing. I wasn't hand chosen by him to do it. So I was just lucky. That's the only reason why I'm in the podcast. So I'm not affiliated with No DQ. I don't have a relationship with No DQ as of right now. And I'm banned from their Facebook group. But despite that one thing that happened to me from getting banned from the Facebook group that I actually was pretty upset about, because Aaron Rift and Virtue and Jeff Meacham and all the other No DQ guys have been treating me well. They have treated me well. And they've entertained me over the past few years. I'm not going to hold a grudge over that one thing that happened. As a matter of fact, I encourage you guys to check out NoDQ.com. I think it's a website that you guys should support. It's actually one of the few websites on the internet that I don't have an ad blocker installed on. That's how much I like the website. So yeah, I just thought I'd shout out NoDQ.com and Aaron Rift. And any of my listeners should really consider check that website out, NoDQ.com.